Welcome to the Better Dad podcast, where we empower African fathers to become the best versions of themselves. I'm your host, Jube Ojomo, and I am thrilled to be your guide on this journey. Today we are delving into a topic that's close to many hearts: embracing cultural identity, understanding the importance of preserving African cultural values while adapting to European norms. Let's get started. It is important to consider how African families moving to Europe can navigate the delicate dance of preserving their cherished family traditions while embracing their new surroundings. Moving to a new country is an adventure filled with hopes, dreams, and of course uncertainties. For African families such as those of Kofi, this tradition often involves leaving behind not only our familiar surroundings, but also the intricate web of cultural traditions that have shaped our generations or our lives for generations. From the rhythm of traditional African music to the colorful fabrics that tell stories of history and community, our cultures are a testament of the deep roots that have nurtured us for centuries. Now, while as an adult and father, Kofi has had his own challenges settling into his new environment, he never fails to recognize the challenges his children are facing. These challenges are many and varied, such as language, accent, education, values, and even dual identities. It is this last challenge, that of dual identities, that we are looking at now. Kofi's children, Diallo and Lola, like other migrants' children, often find themselves overlapping two worlds. On one hand, they interact with peers who have entirely different cultural backgrounds, and they are immersed in the European way of life. On the other hand, they come home to a world rich with their family traditions and languages and values. This duality can be a gift and at the same time can be a source of complexity. Kofi has chosen to make it a gift. He looks at it as a source of strength. To him, Diallo and Lola are to become cultural bridges, able to bring different perspectives to the table and foster understanding. Kofi walks a tightrope in guiding Diallo and Lola to appreciate both facets of their heritage without feeling torn or disconnected. It's like creating a third culture, their parents' culture being the first, the new country's culture being the second, and the blend that they create being the third. However, how does Kofi ensure that his kids do not feel like they are sacrificing one identity for the other? How can he foster a sense of pride in their family roots? One thing Kofi is doing is to ensure that there is open and honest communication with his kids. It's a dialogue and not a sermon. It's about acknowledging their feelings and experiences. For example, Kofi asked Diallo, "How do you feel when you are at school versus when you're with the family?" And the young lad broke down crying. After some time, when he had regained his composure, Diallo responded, "I hate school, Papa. Nobody wants to play with me. If I see a group of guys playing and I go join them, they all walk away and just leave me standing there." Kofi acknowledged his son's feeling. He did not cut him off. He did not tell him, "You have to be a man." He let him express his feelings and asked how he felt he could assist him. He created a safe space for the kids to express their feelings openly. It is through one of these dialogues that he helped Diallo understand that his language is not inferior and got him to see the benefits of being bilingual. Kofi also shared his own journey with Diallo and Lola. He told them stories of how he navigated the challenges he faced, making friends from different backgrounds, and how he started attending networking events. This established a connection like never before because Lola said, "I believe you can understand what we are going through now." So Diallo and Lola really enjoyed these conversations. In fact, they now look forward to it. This meeting that they have is now part of their Sunday family ritual. In a recent one of these meetings, the family carried out a project to explore cultural differences. They researched and then discussed the cultural differences between their family and their new country of residence, but it was in a non-judgmental way. They focused on simple things like how meals are prepared and celebrated and shared in both cultures. The kids were encouraged to ask questions and to express curiosity about these differences. We all know how storytelling has always been a powerful tool in teaching and that it excites children. And so this is the first thing Kofi did. He harnessed the power of storytelling by sharing family stories that highlighted the importance of cultural values, traditions, and challenges faced by the children's grandparents and great-grandparents. It fostered a sense of pride and helped the children to get a deeper understanding of their roots. And so, dear dads, like Kofi, our goal is to create an environment where our children feel comfortable about expressing their thoughts, their emotions, and questions related to their dual identity. So what are some practical steps that we can take to achieve this? Well, we can engage in activities around the 4 things that Kofi did to foster meaningful communication and open communication between a father and his children. The first one is to acknowledge their feelings and experiences. From this, we can get a journal, just a notebook. Provide one for each member of the family. Encourage each one to write about their experiences, their emotions, their thoughts as it relates to their dual identity. Set aside time regularly to ensure that you share these entries and discuss them as a family. 2, share your own journey. We can create a scrapbook, and in this scrapbook we will chronicle our journey from our homeland to the adopted country. We could include things like photos and captions that would highlight the significant milestones, how we moved into our new home, pictures of our new home, shared stories about the challenges and the triumphs and the moments of personal growth with our children. 3, explore cultural differences. We can have a cultural night, designate a family night where everybody will take turns in sharing a cultural practice or tradition from both their own family heritage and then from the adopted country. Learn to prepare traditional dishes together, play the music, and engage in arts and crafts that are related to each culture. 4, storytelling. This one is exciting because you can create a family tree. You can create a project of creating a family tree. So when you create a family tree, trace back the fathers to the homeland, illustrating origins of parents or grandparents and so on, migrations, where they moved and where they lived. Discuss the stories, the occupation and traditions of different generations. Encourage the children to contribute their own stories and experience in this family narrative. So through shared experiences and conversations, Fathers can help their children navigate the complexities of their cultural journey while strengthening the father-child bond. That's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Better Dad podcast. Remember, acknowledge your child's feelings, share your own story with them, create your own culture with them, and harness the power of storytelling.